acum Renoir elitar hamalida.
Renoir, chiar-ți version. Obawiam się.
A smile, optimism, good mood, and of course an interesting guest. Images on your TV. It's not a secret that human is a small model of space on the earth, and every problem that occurs in the organism of a person must be healed in order of space rules through the people who possess the power and abilities given from the universe, so that they can do the right things in the organism of a human. One of those people is our guest tonight, Zina Măcrăcean. Meet her. Good evening, Miss Zina. It is a pleasure to have you as our guest again. Last time we talked about this strange virus, coronavirus, and you said that through the power of universe that you possess, you can diagnose and heal. Today I want to continue our talk from that point with a great pleasure. Thank you for the invite. It seems that now we are going to continue the topic of the previous episode. So you told us that you can diagnose and heal the virus in a short period of time. What had happened later? After a really short time, there was a response from the Ajapnyak district, which was really sweet and made me really happy. They gave me a place within every quality aspect. I'll work with a great pleasure there. I want to thank our district, Ajapnyak district. Now the main thing. Miss Zina, it's not a secret that you have healed thousands of people with your divine grace. They overcame many different and complicated illnesses in your office. At that area, you will only accept people with coronavirus to diagnose and heal. Yes, this place is provided for that illness only. From the universe, it is provided to heal, to diagnose and heal people with corona. Yes, only for that illness. And of course, the most important thing is that that's going to be costless. But I can point out one thing. It seemed like a lot of people would come because, well, it is interesting and everyone is worried about this. And also I can detect during the hidden phase. Surprisingly, a very few people are visiting. So people aren't taking the virus or this method of healing seriously. I think they aren't taking the virus seriously in general, like at all, because they have no idea where the virus comes from. There are many explanations, scientific, medical, and other. Yours is that other from the universe. I would like you to explain your method. Now I will explain that method, which I am sure is true. You probably noticed that the days are passing by really fast. It seems like time flows like a water. So, coming from the very beginning, it was said that there were human gods, almighty humans. What had happened that people like that existed? It turns out that the earth was close to our stored energy. We call that God. It was close to that part, so that's why they had the big energy and they used that correctly. And of course, they didn't have any problems at all, like opening mines, polluting the environment. There weren't such things because their needs were met due to the energy that they were receiving. Energy of high quality. Within the time, our planet has moved away from that place. There is no such thing in space as staying in one place. So it moved away, and people started receiving that energy less and less. The cells were closing, and problems like that started. Now it turns out that our planet is going towards that energy again. The planet again is going to that energy. It is almost proved by scientists. So that's why our time is passing faster. For example, 24 hours, if we count that correctly, would be 20 hours. So probably you would have noticed that the greens, the leaves, are quite more. That should have happened circa in July, but it's the end of May. And it's already like this. It is the proof of that. And what is happening with us, with humans? Let's imagine that planet where there are layers, cells, bacilli, energy, and so on. Everything is in its place. There are bacilli too. layer by layer. So just because of these bacilli, dinosaurs have disappeared. Why did those animals and many other greeneries disappear? Because of these bacilli. So they were the reason that we don't have many other animals and greeneries. And why did these bacilli activate now? I'll explain now. So, when the Earth moved and it moved faster, we kind of displaced them. They came out of their places, they lost their place, and they poured into our planet. Now they are saying to wear masks, not to leave the house, social distancing and so on. Yes, it is correct indeed. Everything needs to be done because the virus is in the air. It is real and everyone can be infected. Not like, the one will be infected and the other one will not. It depends on the person's immune system. They fight and the virus is gone, and if the immune system is weak, the virus enters and does its work. And what's interesting, we say that the target group are elderly people and children, right? And why is that so? Because obviously the old people and children have weak immune systems. That's why it affects them more. I'll explain it like this. Let's imagine it's raining, and people all live in the house with umbrellas. Who haven't got an umbrella gets wet. If they have, then they stay dry. If the umbrella isn't good enough, then they get a bit wet. The same thing is here. It depends on the immune system of a person. And when they ask me whether it is possible to get infected through another person or not, that again cannot be proven. I cannot prove that because maybe the one is infected and is sitting with 4 other people and they aren't infected at all. But maybe the opposite, when everyone gets infected. So here the possibility is the thing, the possibility. Their immune system was weak. What do we need to do? There is a solution to everything. So when a person is ill, these bacilli enter. There are very few people with no illnesses. We can say there is none. Everyone has problems, but they just walk with people throughout the life. But when this bacilli enter, the bacilli, the virus, is observing the organism for 15 days, thinking of ways to conquer it, because the damage is done quite fast. It is observing for about, 15, 14 days how and why, kind of makes a plan and how to conquer the body. In this case, this method takes it out from the hidden phase. So there's a big opportunity. I can't really explain what is it. What is this method? That's why they call this given from God or power from the universe, how you wish. I wish there were more people like me, honestly, who could have helped people. There is a gravitational force inside of me which affects that. And the interesting thing is that it takes a very, very short time. Your diagnosis, yes, the diagnosis and healing together takes a very short time. Why is it like that? I'll again explain. So, let's imagine you're entering your house, not you in general, and there's a killer, a murderer. What will you do? Destroy the killer, right? Immediately. Won't let him to take actions because you know that he's a murderer. He might kill you. Not him, not you. He may be hidden, but he is found now. How is it found? Can't say that. They say don't mess with God's plans. We say what we feel and see, and we destroy it in a matter of seconds. The whole process takes about a minute. So both give the diagnosis and heal in a minute. Yes, there was a time when I was surprised. While I was working with cancer, and again it was taking a very short amount of time, 5 or 7 minutes I should say, but it was surprising and questionable. But one day I found the answer. Found that one too, of course. Scientists developed and decided to create a robot which can do that work faster. The cells are 15,000 times smaller than the size of human hair. Do you imagine that? And then they enter to a human organism with unimaginable speed. It is real. It is proven, it is there, and they want to create such robots. American scientists have decided to do that too. I took that part out of a newspaper and saved it because I like that stuff. Yes, there is such a thing. So it turns out, now I am sure of it, that we have a robot like that in a human. Many people will be surprised. They won't accept that, but it's their problem. Yes, there is a robot like that. And by the way, I am not the only one. So there are or were people like that who have decided to create a robot like them. They have seen the results and thought that they can create something like that. Because when they create a robot, they take samples from humans. They take examples from humans. The same thing is here. So there are people like that in different places all around the world. And maybe they are more. And one of them is here working. This program has a very big meaning. What's the matter? I'll explain. Here, a big problem is being solved. They say, who is worthy, who will remain for generations, they will benefit, definitely. Whose fortune is written differently, let's say, is programmed differently, they will deny. I will repeat myself. Don't mess with God's plans. Don't deny. If you don't accept, good for you, then don't deny it either. Back in the days when people told that in the future we can both see and talk via telephone, people won't imagine that. Or about the flying carpets, yes, that later became planes. And many other things, yes. Or about wireless telephones that now exist. Yes, and now this is the beginning, which is quite hard. Years ago, I was quite upset about this when I was saying that I had all of those things. They are real and here are the proofs, because I proved myself. A few were accepting that, so I was getting upset because of that. But now I am so sure of this, that if a person does not accept, it's their problem. That's it. Yes, it's their destiny. It is their problem. They know better. In general, how big is the role of faith during the process of healing? They ask me, how is that possible if a person is really smart but does not believe? And the other one who is not that smart and believes. For example, one for one, I repeat, there was our meeting in the person's destiny, whether they want it or not. And there is not a meeting in the destiny of the other one who doesn't believe. Maybe there is another method for them. I hope there is. It does not depend from me. It is just programmed. It is set by the destiny, universe. If we meet, then I know that maybe in the past lives they met a thing or a person like that. And when I meet them, I ask, but you have seen nothing. How come you believe? They say, I don't know. And that I don't know is the answer inside. When a person says, I feel something, haven't seen but feels, the same thing here. What is destined, that will definitely happen. And why do I force this method, this thing about the virus? It needs to be done. So this virus, is really dangerous. I never was so sure about anything in my life. See, the program has aired. And then, not so long after, it happened again. Yes, and you don't benefit from this. You will do it costless. You are just worried about the health of people. Yes, and so this is very important. What I'm saying is very important. And when we say that this is costless, then it's about, other people with other points of view, so that they will understand that there is no benefit for me, nothing. Why am I doing this job? So it has to be done for sure. So this is being told from above. So I accept that on the gens of virus, there were some mutations, let's say. That's why it is somehow a mysterious virus for specialists, for scientists. It has an unnatural intervention in its gen, so we shall understand that we shall boost the protection of a natural organism system, so it won't harm the natural organism, because They are evoluted reactions. They evoluted for 10,000 years. They resist against different viruses and infections, for example, temperature. In order for the virus to get into the lungs, the cells of lungs, which has different layers, it needs to pass through different layers and protections. So if we won't let the temperature down, it won't affect and won't get into the lungs, which, surprisingly, our Ministry of Health does not tell. I, as an ambulance doctor, have seen many patients with temperatures, and they just tell them to take fever medications, and during 3 days it led to major pneumonia. Besides the fever medications, I'd like to say that they also don't tell about a wonderful thing, which is hydrogen peroxide. The former head doctor of an astronomical center, Ivan Neumvakin, perfectly explains details about hydrogen peroxide. In case of every pneumonia, the intravenous injection of hydrogen peroxide definitely eases the case. If people want, they can take and use it in cases of those illnesses, ill people. It helps because the hydrogen peroxide in the organism comes from the atom of oxygen and water, and that oxygen neutralizes every microbe in the organism. Our healthcare system is being pressured by companies, major companies, and the hydrogen peroxide is a cheap method, cheap cure. They don't benefit from it. That's why those informations are hidden. Now, in the case of Miss Zina, I am so sure that we can save many lives if the people with very bad cases of pneumonia or the virus will connect with her, even via Skype, completely free. They will get rid of that horrible virus. Let's discuss 2 different cases. 1. When a person without your intervention overcomes the virus, let's put the death cases alone, the person just overcomes, heals, and continues to live, and when another one heals with your method. Are the 2 organisms the same later or not? I have already said that it depends on the immune system, for example, the flu. Does the virus have side effects, after effects? The virus is so cruel that it does not have any side effects. It just does not leave a person behind. What are the side effects? The side effect or after effect is the end, dust, the person's gone. I meant if the person overcomes it, heals. Are there any remainings of the virus? I understand it like this. If the virus wanted to enter, the immune system didn't let the virus to enter. It didn't enter, simply. Like the wind of a small pot came, not the virus. The air that has entered kind of mixed within the organism, so the people healed. But if the virus will enter and stay there, it is impossible to get rid of it. It will destroy the person, not vice versa. Not the person destroying the virus. They say that the person was infected and healed. It wasn't the full mold virus. It was just a small part. Like when you see a killer, you think it will come and kill, but that is not for sure. You just expect him to come and kill. The same thing with the virus and fear of the virus. You can't think like that, and everything is not the same inside. But the main virus, if it will be in the organism, it will be impossible to get rid of it. When it enters, it hides and later starts the job. But if it's not there and the person has those symptoms, then it's just his other illnesses and the fear coming from the soul, not his. The soul's fear affects the situation. You give the diagnosis and heal. After you do, the doctors have to do something, right? When I give the diagnosis and the virus is gone, the remaining is the job of a doctor, the remaining of other illnesses, every illness beside the virus. This is like a nail for a magnet. Magnet won't pull the thread, right? Only the nail, iron. This is for that. How do I say this? This weapon is for that. It sees the battery wherever it is. It works only for that. And those people who were really infected with the virus during these 15 days, well, they could have been healed, right? No, they couldn't. It is impossible. It has already conquered the organism. It's there. In this case, when it is hidden, and later will conquer it. This finds the hidden virus. That's why I'm saying that if there were more people like me, others wouldn't have been surprised or wouldn't have denied it. Why am I so eager about this thing? It is strange, right? I don't benefit from it, but I aim to this. So it is needed. So it is urgent. So now we have a place for that. That again isn't in vain. It was done quickly. They responded fast. Yes, fast. There is God above. So you will see who and why responded and of course how responded. And good things will happen to them. I am sure because they noticed. They listened to that command, call, request. They counted it. Their soul counted it, accepted, and I am the only one who's doing it. And of course I will have mine. But people, the most important thing here are the people who will benefit from this. So that the virus will be soon gone. Later, time will pass, like in the cases of cancer, when they were terrified by it, but it became a normal, regular thing. So will be in this case of this virus. I can't destroy it completely in the whole world. That's impossible. That's why I'm saying more people like me, indeed. Yes, there is a cure for this. So you think that we shall live in this virus? Yes. And many years? Well, there is a help given to us, right? People shall benefit from it. It doesn't even take a minute. It's done quite fast. You imagine how people I could have help in an hour or two. They shall benefit. There are information about everything in my Facebook page, Zina Zapur Makarchan. I posted this thing. I requested them to come and try the address, telephone number, everything. If I worry this much, it means that it is needed. Why are they telling us to not leave our houses, stay at home? Because it is in the air. We put the masks on. Yes, it helps. I'm not saying that it is completely useless, but it's not the thing which we need for 100%. One more question. So the people came and healed. Can they get infected once more? I am saying that the virus is in the air. Everything depends on the immune system. For example, a person came, I diagnosed and healed with my method and the virus disappeared. These bacilli seem like people, they have consciousness. They know that they can't enter that body because that organism will again destroy them. If a part of this bacilli will indeed enter the body, it won't be, global. Not everyone will have that condition. The majority won't get infected once again. These bacilli seem like they have consciousness. They know where to enter, why to enter, and how to enter. Where does the immune system lack of confidence? They know everything about the organism. So when they see that they can't enter this specific body, the whole system, will know about it. Everything is like that. Everything has breath. Even bacilli, they know that this is not, a recommended place to enter. Miss Ina, what is your method in the case of seriously ill people? They are in the resuscitation department. I will check them. That is done via Skype. But in that moment, I shall see them. Inside of me, it is working and the patient needs to see it. Name, surname and age is needed. And if there is a virus in the hidden phase, this will destroy the virus. But what if the person is already seriously ill, infected and has pneumonia? If it is there, this method will destroy that bacillus, so that the patient won't die. The remaining will be the doctor's job. This method is only for the bacilli of coronavirus. But if there isn't a bacilli, but the patient is seriously ill, the method shows that there is no bacilli, and then there is none. The patient is just, seriously ill, has pneumonia. It is the fear, soul's fear, that's showing the signs. The person had illnesses in him or her, and they are now serious ones because of the fear of soul. Zina, in your opinion, there is no other way to overcome coronavirus. Other way? I don't know other ways. If I see other people with the same powers who work differently, I'll say yes. There are other ways. I don't think that it will be over with this one thing. There will be other methods. We pray for it to be. When I see the virus and destroy it, after that, patient can do anything, can take any medicaments. It won't be like doctors gave advice or anyone gave advice. It is just, mechanically done from inside. The body chooses, like when you ask a seriously ill person, what does the heart desire? The name, they name something, right? So the organism has the need for that. When they tell children if a mouse is a fish, it will immediately recover, right? It will gain energy from that. So they will recover. This method is only for this bacilli. The same with cancer. Like it destroys the bacilli and there is just a peg lasting. Later they should just, work on repercussions. The same mechanism is done in the case of cancer. Yes, only in this case it is a matter of seconds, no time to think. It is done fast. So I am curious as to what are you feeling during this process? What is there inside? If there is a virus, if that needs to be done, I feel pressure or tension inside of me immediately, like to be, electrocuted. But not so much. I feel that. I know that there is a virus in that person, and if there is nothing there, it is calm inside of me. Like, the robot, the mechanism isn't working because there is none. It seems, and if it feels that there is a virus, it will turn itself on. And if it doesn't turn on, so there is nothing. There is no bacilli in that person. It is done like that, and it is written in more details in my Facebook page. English, Russian, and Armenian versions. I posted them. So that people will read and understand everything, the mechanism. Yes, it is explained in details that they want to create a robot like that. A robot. We have a robot like that in a person. How can you not benefit from it? How? Many years ago they checked me in the UNESCO branch. What is it that's inside of me? Your phenomenon. Yes, who am I? What am I doing? Why? This science world has been checking me for years now. And after that check-in, about 2 hours after that, the director was asking me to work with them for 2 years to observe me, and then Armenia will become famous all around the world. I didn't quite understand at that time, but now that I have read about the robot thing, that I matured in the way, I understand that what he had found it, and he wanted to observe that. And the interesting thing is that there were books in his cabinet. So I was like, I asked if I can read the books. He was surprised. He was like, why do you compare yourself with these books? Do you understand who you are? I am not saying this to praise myself. If that was you, I would be twice as happy. Yes, you are talking about the phenomenon. Yes, he was like, do you know who you are and you want to read these books? And it interested me a lot. And when something interests me, I will have the answers. And I had my answers through the article. He found that. Because when I am working, something is turned on in me, electricity or something. And when a person beside me will faint, I will probably not notice that. It is completely centered to that person, patient. Yes, it is, certain. Yes, the other things are turned off and I don't think, who is that? My friend, relative, or a stranger? I do not care. Even my enemy, I don't care. It works. Thank you so much, Miss Zina. We had another really interesting meeting. It's a pity our meeting is over. I want to say, my dears, if we come across immense problems, the universal problems, we need to be wise and solve those problems according to the rules of the universe. And every one of us is able to have the energy of the universe inside of them and recover everything. The only thing that is needed, we just need to believe and everything will be okay. I repeat, thank you. I am beyond thankful for the invite, and I will be so thankful and happy that this thing will be accepted by people, so that I won't worry about this case again, so that I can finally rest, so that people won't have to worry about this.
Renoir elitář Hamalida.
Renoir. Գեղեցկության հավերժ. Ապա